Yeah, we're really excited as a team. Obviously, round of 16 is something that the club's not been in before, and yeah, we know that it's a really important game for us as a club, for me as a fan. So yeah, we're all really excited, and we're looking forward to hopefully putting a good performance on.
If selected, you're most likely to come up against Lamine Yamal over on that side. How much of a challenge is that for you? Are you looking forward to it? Are you worried? What's your overall feeling?
Yeah, I think it goes without saying he's obviously a special talent. Um, I've seen him play in enough Champions League games. I know what he's about. So um, for me, if I was to be selected, it's obviously I'll be really looking forward to it. And for me, I want to test myself against the best players in the world. So no better opportunity to do so than the game tomorrow. So really looking forward to it.
Damien Craig, then Lee Ryder, please.
Lewis, as a young player, you sometimes have to pinch yourself when you think back at what you've achieved over the last couple of years.
Yeah, I think so. I think for me, sometimes I don't like to do that too much because I like to take everything in my stride. I think that's an important thing for a young player to do. I think anyone who gets caught up sort of in the moment it can all become a bit overwhelming. So I think it's important that you sort of just take everything as it goes along, take game by game, and sort of just think about how you can improve what you've done and sort of what you can do for the next game. And I think that's my mentality at the minute.
Craig?
You don't want to come across story either because you are on your own brilliant journey, But Lamine Yamal, what's been your observation of him from afar, coming through? Got this chance to play against him now. Do you play with him on a video game? What's your relationship with Lamine Yamal from afar, of course?
Um, my relationship with him is no different to any other player. I know the moments that he can produce. I know what he's like as a player. But I think they've got so many different threats in their team. So I think to single one out individually, as good of a player as he is, I think that would be not a smart thing to do. So I think for us as the team, we're just looking at their threats and how we can nullify them and what we can do to win the game.
Lee, then Nisha, please.
Lewis obviously had the injury 12 months ago. It was a frustrating one. You came off the pitch at Anfield, not only when you knew you'd been injured, did you? So it was a very tough time. Fast forward now, you must be relishing this and quite grateful that all that's behind you.
Yeah, 100%. I think that was a difficult moment. Obviously, I wasn't expecting the results of my scans to come back as what they were, and obviously missed the Carabao Cup final, which is obviously gutting for me. And yeah, I think it's something that I've learned a lot from mentally, and I think it's made me mentally stronger. But yeah, like you said, to be in the position now, round of 16 in the Champions League tomorrow against Barcelona, I think I'm really looking forward to it, and I think everything I've been through so far has put me in the position now, and yeah, I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
And as a team, this is everything now, isn't it? Being in the Champions League, you could get the Europa Conference League via the league, but this is a big opportunity for everyone.
Yeah, 100%. We know the importance of tomorrow as a fixture in general. Obviously, there's still enough games to go in the league that we can turn it around and stuff like that. But yeah, I think we just need to put that to the side for now and just focus on tomorrow's game, as that's the most important thing right now.
Nisha, then Mark, please.
Hi Lewis, your performances this season have been one of the highlights of Newcastle season. How much has the prospect of the Champions League, also a World Cup, how much motivation has that given you?
Yeah, it's definitely a motivating factor. I think for me, as I've said before, I like to take every game by game. I'm still young, I'm still learning about how I can improve, how I can influence the team in better ways and things like that. So yeah, I think it's a big opportunity tomorrow. And like you said, Champions League, World Cup, they're obviously massive competitions. But for me, I don't really think about that too much. I just think about what I can do to help the team in the next game and yeah, how we can do our best to win.
The manager and the players have said throughout the season that you've saved your best for this competition. Where can you reach? What level can you get to in terms of performance? Is there a real belief you can knock out one of the best clubs in the world?
Yeah, I think we've been in really good form this Champions League campaign. I think it's been obviously a bit frustrating comparing that to sort of our league form at the minute. But yeah, if we look purely at our Champions League campaign so far, I think we can be really proud of the performances and the efforts that we've put in. And I think throughout the seasons and the last couple of seasons as well, I think we've shown that on our day that we can be a good game against anyone. And I truly believe as a member of this team that I feel like we can beat anyone on our day, because I feel like we've got a lot of quality, we've got the passion, and obviously we've got a really passionate set of supporters as well, as everyone will know. So yeah, we're all looking forward to tomorrow, and it's a massive opportunity for us.
Mark, then Gary, please.
The manager just said it's possibly one of the biggest games in the club's recent history. Is that how you see it? Is it one of the biggest games of your career?
Yeah, I'd say it's definitely up there. I think I've played a lot of games now that have been really important for my development as a player. But I think when you get to this sort of end in the competition, becomes the business end of the competition really. Yeah, round of 16 in the Champions League over 2 legs. I wouldn't say that I've played in any bigger games than that. So yeah, tomorrow's going to be a big one for me, but I'm looking forward to it.
Obviously, you're too young to remember '97 and that, but is that kind of the idea of becoming a legend like that? Does that appeal to you?
Yeah, obviously when we played them in the group stages, I obviously that was when I first heard about that result, sort of. So yeah, I knew sort of what an iconic moment that was in a sense. So yeah, I guess tomorrow is going to be another opportunity where we can maybe put in another performance that Newcastle fans and Newcastle as a club can look back on as a real turning point and sort of, well, a proud moment for the club really.
Gary, then Louise, please.
Lewis, have you ever stepped onto a football pitch fearing coming up against an opponent? And as you progress through, obviously, you've got hold to making the World Cup. Is that just completely out? You might have a respect, but is the fear factor just gone now?
Yeah, 100%. I think if you're going onto a football pitch, fearing or worrying about anything, I think that already puts you on the back foot personally. I think for me, I always go on with a positive mindset. Self-belief, I think, is an important thing, because I think if you don't believe in yourself, then I think it makes it hard for anyone else to do so. So for me, whenever I'm playing, I've been playing football for 18, 19 years, obviously, different journey to sort of what other people might have. But obviously I know my own journey, and for me personally, I think my journey's been special. And yeah, I'm looking forward to sort of every game as it comes, and yeah, tomorrow's a big opportunity for me and for the team, so yeah, we're all excited.
And just last one from me. You spoke here in November where you opened up about speaking with a psychologist and stuff, you were coming back. All that hard work and things you've done, some people are reluctant to speak out or seek help. Has it all been worthwhile for moments like this tomorrow night? Knockout game against Barcelona in the Champions League. Can you just talk us through that?
Yeah, I think it's important in football. I feel like as a footballer, you're always sort of in the limelight. You're always being sort of judged on a lot of things that you do within football and also outside of football. So I think it's important that you feel like you can speak freely with different people, whether that is with family, friends, or whoever it may be. But I think as a footballer, if you can do what you can to put yourself in the right mindset and to be mentally as secure and stable as possible, I genuinely feel like that definitely helps with performances. And for me personally, being able to speak to my friends, family, etc., I feel like that's helped me be the person and player I am now. So.
Louise, and then the gentleman behind you. Louise first, then you next.
Hi, Lewis. Now, Barcelona came into Matford Hall yesterday. They've had a kind of couple of days, it would appear, decompressing. How have you prepared for the game after City?
I'll be honest, no different to a normal game. I think if you get caught up in the moment too much of who you're playing and the occasion, it can be a negative. So yeah, we've just been preparing as normal, treating it as any other game, but we know when the kick-off comes tomorrow night, we'll be Yeah, 100%. You can use it in both ways. You want to use it to your advantage. We know that the fans will be behind us right from minute one throughout the whole game. But yeah, like you said, you don't want to get too carried away and get too ahead of yourselves, because sometimes you can get caught up in the moment a little bit, which can affect maybe performances and things like that. But yeah, I think we've prepared in the right way, and I think we'll find the balance right tomorrow.
Gentleman behind.
I can imagine that tomorrow is going to be one of the most challenging days, as well as defending against Lamine Yamal. Are you aware of his tactics? Can you comment on that? What are you going to do about that? Thank you.
Yeah, obviously, as I said before, we know the qualities that Lamine Yamal has. But yeah, it's as I said before, it's a team game, and they've got so many talented players in their team. And yeah, we've obviously analysed them a lot in what ways we think that what things we need to do to hurt them, and how we can prevent them from hurting us. So yeah, it's going to be a big balance. It's going to be an important balance that we find that tomorrow. So yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Pero sí, vamos a intentar encontrar un equilibrio para poder jugar lo mejor posible. So the second leg is going to be played in Barca, so Barca is going to be an advantage. What do you think you can do to overcome this elimination, and how do you feel by the next game? Thank you.
Yeah, we obviously know it's going to be really difficult going to their place in a week or so time. But I think for now there's such an important game tomorrow that we need to purely just focus on what we can do tomorrow. So when we do go there, we can hopefully take a positive result there, and yeah, so that's what we need to do.
Kieran Kelly, Martin Hardy, and then Daniel Wales, please.
I know you previously mentioned you had some dark days when you first joined the club. Could you have imagined a night like tomorrow night thinking back to World Two?
Yeah, I've obviously been through a journey here at Newcastle. I think when I first signed, it was obviously a difficult period for me. Signing for what I knew was obviously quite a significant fee at the time, considering the amount of football that I'd actually played. I knew the sort of pressure that came with that, but I never sort of didn't believe in myself. I always believed in my own ability, and I had that belief from my teammates, from the coaches as well. But yeah, I think it's important that I managed to stay strong, work hard every day, did what I can to improve. And I think that put me in a good position last season, which I feel like last season was the turning point for me in terms of me as a player and as a person. Obviously, it was cut short at the end a little bit by injury, which was disappointing, but I think then having to deal with that obviously made this season me more motivated than ever to do what I did last season and just improve from there. So yeah, to now be playing in the round of 16 in the Champions League is incredibly special, considering where I've come from.
Worked a lot with the defensive side of your game. How much help is Jason and stuff like that?
Yeah, a massive help. Obviously JT, the gaffer, all the coaches really, and all my teammates as well. There's been a lot of defenders that I've worked with at the club who, when I first joined, definitely helped me learn the ways that we would defend here. And I think that was a big area of my game that needed to improve when I signed. So yeah, I think I've done that. I've done that pretty well, I'd say, in terms of how I've improved and my attitudes. But yeah, again, I'm still 21. I'm still young. I'm still looking to continue to improve that. And I think as a team this year, I'd say we probably haven't defended the way we'd like to in terms of conceding goals. But yeah, we're looking to improve that now.
Martin and then Daniel's finish, please.
Lewis, is it right that your dad and your uncle are Newcastle fans?
My dad is, yes.
Even like he's Barcelona, you know.
It's a good question. I haven't actually asked him. I know he obviously knows a lot about the game and whatever, but that'll be one to ask him when I get home today. So.
What has your development then as a Newcastle then?
Yeah, it's meant everything really. I think the first sort of couple of months of me being a Newcastle player was a change to the system for him, because obviously he's always proud of me and he's always travelled to watch me play regardless of where I'm playing. But I think for me to now be playing for a team that he's grew up supporting and he's had so many highs and lows with, I think is massive for him. And to see me playing for Newcastle at the minute every week is obviously something that he's very proud of me for, and I'm really grateful that I can let him have these memories.
How are you?
Yeah, it's obviously really difficult physically, mentally as well. But I think it can also be a positive. I think if you're winning games, it's quite easy to maintain that momentum. Obviously, it's physically incredibly challenging, having to go again and again sometimes. But I think it can be used as an advantage to build up momentum. And as well, I think negatively, if you do lose a game, I think it's important that the next game can come around quickly so that you can sort of get that bad result or bad performance out your system and sort of start afresh. So I think it's good in both ways.
Daniel, let's finish off, please.
Hi Lewis, just on your development again. I spoke to you after you played for England under 21s against Austria under 21s at Kenilworth Road. I think that was in September 2024. You put in a match display then, and that's less than 2 years ago. Since then, you've become a regular starter at Newcastle, obviously despite that injury. Can you just talk to me about the development and the biggest factors and influences you had in that short period to go from then to now where you've been in this game and perhaps in contention for the World Cup as well?
Yeah, I think that's the thing with football that I think a lot of people don't see. You have a lot of highs, you have a lot of lows, and I think it's important that when you do have the highs, it's important to sort of appreciate it and be proud of yourself, but at the same time not get too ahead of yourself. And I think it's important that you, once you've celebrated your achievements, you then get back to sort of being level-headed and thinking about what's next. And yeah, I think as for the lows, you have a lot of lows in football. Everyone throughout their career will have had games or moments where they know that they've not performed very well or have had to go through an injury or anything like that. And I think it's important that when you do have these highs and you're in a low, for example, if you've had an injury, it's important that you think of the times you've sort of almost been in really good form as an example, and think about that's what you're doing it for, and that's what's worth it all in the end. So yeah, I think football's a massive journey for everyone, and yeah, I'm really grateful of my journey so far, and I still feel like there's a lot more to come from me and from this team, and yeah, we're looking to show that.
Thank you, guys.
Nice one. Cheers. Thank you.